I consider myself an expert on the 80s because I was really, the 70s and 80s are my wheelhouse for music. So it's not that I'm sensitive. I know what they're doing, though. They are trying to rewrite history. Rolling Stone is really supposed to be the magazine of record for music. I think it probably still is, isn't it?
I would think so.
And
I mean, Pitchfork likes to pretend that they are. I don't know what happened to Spin.
How can they do such an inaccurate job? I mean, for anyone who really doesn't know better or was born in the 90s or born in the 80s, they're going to go, oh, wow, really? And some of the songs they put up at the top, I looked them up, they got 30 million streams.
Wow.
It's ridiculous. Just because
nothing.
you want it to be, or you want more women, or you want more people of color, so you're trying to change history. You're calling these the top. It's preposterous.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. If are they just trying to be everything to everyone?
No, they're trying to be woke. I believe they are just trying to be more. They're trying to have diversity in their top 10. Well, actually, they're not trying to have diversity in the top 10. They're trying to not have any white guys, is what I see. I'll read the top 10 in a minute, and it'll probably surprise you. So starting, I'm not going to read the whole list because it would just take too long. But I tried to hit on some high points like 194, Take On Me by A-ha.
That's it? 194? Should that be way higher?
Check the streaming on that song.
Everybody loves that song.
I thought that would have been top 10 easy.
It was a giant hit at the time. It was a giant video, one of the best videos of the 80s. And it's a huge streaming song. I think it's one of the top 5.
Yeah, 1.6 billion.
Okay, get 186. Same thing exactly. A song that was a big hit in the 80s, a giant streaming song. Africa by Toto is 186.
Oh, wow. I would have thought that would have been top 10.
Absolutely.
And you
Not
said
only
no
was it big-
repeats, so they don't get Rosanna in there
No.
anywhere. Okay.
Nope.
Really?
Nope. Spirit of Radio by Rush at 179. Police,
Way higher.
The World is Running Down. So I guess we're not going to see Every Breath You Take anywhere, are we?
No.
I don't think we do.
Well, did they?
Because I don't think they have any band in there twice. Let me see. Is Every Breath You Take in here somewhere? No, I don't think it is. We'll see when I get down here. Then Queen and Bowie Under Pressure at 165.
Man, that song is so good.
That's a billion streamer. And it was a #1 hit at the time.
Plus, it led to Vanilla Ice, right?
That's right.
Doom, 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 doom.
No, it's not the same. It's
That's
not,
right. He said,
Mine
ask
goes,
him.
"Tss."
dun, 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 dun. Is that how he justified it?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. Dexy's Midnight Runners, Come Eileen,
So great.
164.
Such a great song.
Yeah, it was I thought that would be hard, too. Lionel Richie, All Night Long. New Kids on the Block, Hangin' Tough at 161.
We're rough. Here. This is from Vanilla Ice's own mouth.
Oh, we have.
Sampled them from him, but it's not the same bass line. Like it goes ding 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 diggy ding ding, ding 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 diggy ding ding, ding ding ding. That's the way theirs goes. Ours goes ding 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 diggy ding ding, ding 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 diggy ding ding.
I mean, come on. Case closed, right?
Great audio quality, too.
Sorry.
Well, it was the 80s.
Okay, this is another one where I was like, oh, cool song. What's it doing at 160? Missing Persons Words ahead of Africa by Toto? And Take On Me? What? Rat Round and Round, 159. Modern English, Melt With You. That was a big song, 156.
Great song.
White Wedding, Billy Idol. Bust a Move, Young MC. That's a pretty big song. McCartney's Here Today is 149. That's a song about John Lennon. It's a very well-liked song, but he had giant hits in the 80s, like
Wait,
Coming Up.
Is Say not going to be on the list?
No, it's not on the list.
What, really?
It's
Good,
not.
Good.
With Michael Jackson. But it was a
It
giant
was a
hit.
massive hit.
It streams pretty well, too.
Awful, but yeah.
Here's a song by a gay guy.
Commodore's Night Shift, 144. Lou Reed, New Sensations. That's another one. It's a great song, and I know Rolling Stone loves Lou Reed, but what are you doing? Betty Davis Eyes, which was the #2 hit of the entire decade, is at 138. Psychedelic Furs, Love My Way, not even their biggest song, is at 135. Motorhead, Ace of Spades, 126.
The Ace of Spades.
Great song.
That's a big streamer, too. Okay, this one, Fast Car by Tracy Chapman, was just named Record of the Year for country music.
Yeah.
And it was a giant hit for her. What is it doing at 125? Hall & Oates, You Make My Dreams.
So they only have one on there, Hall & Oates?
Yep. It's behind Bow Wow Wow, I Want Candy.
Oh, God, that song sucks.
Billy Joel's at 110 with "We Didn't Start the Fire."
How could he only have one?
He only has
He
one.
only has one, and it's the song he hates the
Yes,
most.
it's a song everyone hates now.
He hates it so much.
That cover, by the way, people despise that cover. Just despise it.
Have you ever heard Billy Joel talking about it? He does
Yeah,
not like
no,
that
I know.
song at all.
He doesn't like singing it either. Lita Ford, "Kiss Me Deadly's" at 106. "True" by Spandau Ballet's at 103. Smokey Robinson, "Being With You." Joan Jett, "I Love Rock and Roll" at 96. The Waitresses, "I Know What Boys Like." That's another great new wave song, but what is it doing at number 94?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Way too high.
"Pour Some Sugar on Me," Def Leppard, 93. George Michael's "Faith" was 79. Roxy Music, "More Than This." That's a song. I love that song. That song's grown over the years. It's been in movies, but I just can't imagine it being that high. Poison, "Talk Dirty to Me," 76. "In a Big Country," Pretenders, "Talk of the Town." That's not even their best song.
No.
It's not even close. How about "My City Was Gone," or "Back in the Chain Gang," or "Stop Your Sobbing," or wait, what's the big hit? Dun, dun,
Brass in the Pocket?
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, Brass in the Pocket. "Blondie, Call Me." That's one of the biggest hits of the 80s,
Yeah,
by the
that's
way.
a
It's
massive
72.
song.
Van Halen's only entry is "Everybody Wants Some" at 70.
But it won't. I mean, great song, but they should have about 30 songs in this list.
Well, "Jump" is a much bigger song.
Yeah, that song sucks.
But we're talking about the top 200 songs.
I know
mean,
they should have a pile of them in there.
You don't have to put every hit in there, but AC/DC, "Hell's Bells." "It's Raining Men" by the Weather Girls at 66. John Waite's "Missing You," 65. B-52's "Private Idaho." That's not even their biggest song.
Wow. Or their
That
best.
would be from the 88 album,
Yeah.
Love Shack. Bruce Springsteen, "Atlantic City." Really, of all Bruce's songs in the 80s, "Atlantic City" off the Nebraska album. That downer, bummer, acoustic album.
Hey, did you see Little Steven on CBS Sunday Morning a couple weeks ago?
No, I didn't see that. And I saw it was on 60 Minutes, too.
He was?
Yeah. How was he?
He was great. I just really like the guy. I love listening
do, too.
to him.
I love him.
He's doing a lot of things to keep rock and roll alive. But the worst part of the interview by far was when Bruce came in. I don't know why. He just seems like a downer to me.
I know.
They
we've
seem
talked
so
about this.
opposite of each other.
If you walked into a bar and Little Steven was one end and Bruce is the other end, I would go for Little Steven every
100%,
time.
Yeah. Far
Much
more
more
interesting.
fun.
Yeah.
Husker Du, "Celebrated Summer." What? 57. Bonnie Tyler, totally. Hate that. Adam Ant, "Stand and Deliver." The Pixies, "Debaser." Is that their
Yeah,
biggest
that's
song of the 80s?
Boy, that was a pretty big song of theirs. Yeah.
But don't they have another song that's gigundous? Their first biggest streaming song is huge.
Well, that's probably "Where's
from
My
the
Mind,"
90s?
but that got a big life after. I don't think it was that big when it was released.
Honestly, I think it's by far their biggest
You
streaming
said
song.
"Debaser" was. I would think it would be "Here Comes Your Man," but I don't know when that was released.
89.
Maybe.
89, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or Monkey Gun, yeah.
Electric Avenue, Eddie Grant. That was a big song. Metallica, "Master of Puppets" is 50. Human League, "Don't You Want Me." That was a very, very big hit. Okay, Beastie Boys, B-Boy. What's it?
B-Boy Booyah Bass?
Yeah. Why is that? Is
Wow.
that their biggest song in the 80s?
No, I mean that's on Paul's Boutique. That's the end. It's like 5 songs in one.
What is
But I would have
thought
thought something
do?
on just License to Ill because it was so big.
Again, this
like
is
Brass Monkey or whatever.
This is the magazine that's supposed to be the record, the record of popular music. What are they doing? They're trying to change history?
Trying to be cool.
Jesus and Mary Chain, "Just Like Honey." Great song. Number 45? What? Sonic Youth, "Teenage Riot." Really? At 43? U2's "Bad" is 41. There's no other U2 song on
No
there.
other U2 song on that list.
Nope.
What?
No, I included all the top 40 songs.
Fuck that list. That list is garbage, Drew.
This is garbage.
Marvin Gaye's "Sexual Healing" is 40. The Clash, "Spanish Bombs," which is not even in their top 5 songs. "Should I Stay or Should I Go?" Rock the Casbah. I mean, we're talking about 80s.
Yeah.
Rick James, "Super Freak," big song. Culture Club, "Karma Chameleon," 37. Nina Cherry, "Buffalo Stance."
I hate that fucking song so much.
You just made the list.
Is that a big song?
I knew it.
I know the song too. I just don't remember it being
25 million streams.
The Minutemen, great punk band, but they never had a hit. "This Ain't No Picnic" at 34. I bet that has 5 million streams, if that.
This list is so bad.
Rob
We've
Bass-
heard a lot of bad Rolling Stone lists. This might be the worst.
This you might be right about that. Rob Bass and DJ
It Takes
Easy
Two?
Rock. It Takes Two at 33.
Oh, man. It's a great song.
Really?
Yeah, it takes two to make things go right. It takes two to make them out of sight, Drew.
Is that as big a song as "Girls Just Want to Have Fun" by Cyndi Lauper, which was a monster song?
they're
It's a
both-
monster streaming
That
song.
one's probably bigger, but yeah.
Joy Division, "Love Will Tear Us Apart." Good pick. 31. Tina Turner, "What's Love Got to Do with It?" That was a big song. 29. Guns N' Roses, "Welcome to the Jungle."
How can that not be top five?
And so we don't have
Or,
the other song.
Yeah.
Is not on the list. Well,
No Paradise
You have
City.
to have both "Welcome to the Jungle" and you have to
Child.
have "Sweet Child of
How can
Mine."
Sweet Child not be top five? I mean, that launched
It is. Talking Heads, "This Must Be the Place." I'm not even sure that's their top
on.
song. What? And then,
What did they say? We're going to take all these artists. They can only have one song, and we're eliminating their best song and everybody's favorite song.
no, they're doing the 9th place ribbon thing. They're going, we're not putting people that keeps people off the list. That's not fair.
That's-
Even though Michael Jackson had 5 of the biggest songs of the 80s. No,
I hope
it's
they
ridiculous.
I hope they kept Michael off the whole list.
They didn't.
Damn it.
Now, how is Big Daddy Kane Ain't No Half Steppin'
It's
at
not even his
27?
biggest one either.
It's got 21 million streams. They've got a song with 2 billion streams at number 196. Diana Ross, "I'm Coming Out." It was a big hit. Depeche Mode, "Just Can't Get Enough." The Replacements, "Left the Dial." Not even one of their top 5 songs. They don't even have a top 1,000 song in the 1980s in terms of streaming. Not even close. Africa Bambaataa and the Soul Sonic Force, "Planet Rock" at number 23.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, yeah, not that high.
Garbage.
You would know that song.
Then here they go again. Pet Shop Boys and Dusty Springfield. What have I done to deserve this? Which is a great song, and I know everybody loves Dusty Springfield, but if you're not going to put West End girls in here, why would the Pet Shop Boys? Why would that be their one entry? That's preposterous. George Clinton, "Atomic Dog." Again, 28 million streams at number 21 in the whole decade.
Yeah.
New Order, "Temptation." I don't even think that's in their top 2 or 3. REM, "Sitting Still." That's not even.
That's right.
that's
There's
not
only
even-
one REM on the
Yeah,
list.
only one REM. Wait till you see who's not on the list, because I actually went through the 80s top 100 of every year, trying to pluck out people from the top of the list just to see, wait, they got to be in this list. Okay, Eric B. and Rakim, "I Know You Got
yeah.
Soul."
That's not even their biggest song.
Eric.
Sade, "Smooth Operator" is number 15. Rum DMC, "Sucker MCs"
Great-
at
great
14.
song.
No, not "Walk This Way" or anything like that. You wouldn't want to put that in the top 50. "Walk This Way" has got to be the biggest hit, right?
What was the Eric B. and Rakim song?
"I Know You Got Soul."
Okay. It's, okay.
Run DMC, "Sucker MCs." Is that
That's
their
pretty
biggest?
big.
Is it bigger than "Walk This Way"?
No, Walk This Way should be on the list. Before that, if you're only going to have one, yeah.
The Cure, "Just Like Heaven." NWA, "Straight Outta Compton," which does not have that many streams. I know it's a big song, but it's just not a
They
top.
really launched that gangster West Coast rap, though.
But if it's that
I mean,
big,
I'm not
why
trying to
wouldn't
justify it, I'm
Why
just
wouldn't it be in the top 200 instead of the top
Oh, yeah.
15?
I agree. Yep. I forgot we're that close to one.
Janet Jackson, "Nasty." Janet Jackson does not have a song with over 150 million streams, which is shocking considering how well she charted in the 80s. So here we go, the top 10. The Smiths, "There Is a Light That Never Goes Out." I realize the Smiths are super hip, but I don't
even
know if
know
that would
that
be the
song.
song I would pick.
Sorry, Mel. I just don't know that song.
Kate Bush, "Running Up That Hill."
Get rid of her.
Here's where the white guys show up. Duran Duran, "Hungry Like the Wolf." Now, how can they have one song? That's ridiculous.
Laughable that they have one song. Same with NXS. I haven't even heard you say an NXS song.
I think they had a song that I didn't write down, and it was one of their bigger ones.
I mean, wouldn't you think NXS would have at least 4 on there?
For sure. The Go-Go's, "Our Lips Are Sealed."
They should have at least 4 on there.
Whitney Houston, "How Will I Know?" The 5th biggest.
She should have at least 4 on there.
It's not
Did
even
you
her
know?
biggest.
She had 4 #1 hits.
Public Enemy, "Bring the Noise" with 30 million
That one?
streams at number
Or
5.
Fight the Power? Okay.
Michael Jackson, "Billie Jean" at number 4. No Beat It on the list, by the way.
Yeah, but I guess that's the only one that's made sense so far in this top 10.
Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5, The Message. It's, again, not even 100 million streams.
Yeah.
Madonna, Like a Prayer at number 2. And number 1 is Prince, Kiss. Not Purple Rain.
Purple Rain.
Not
Not
When Doves
Raspberry
Cry.
Beret.
When Doves Cry was the number 1 song of the year and it was in. And it...
What a fucking
I love
terrible
Prince.
list.
So here's who did not make the list, and I'll tell you why some of them should have. Richard Marx, who had had one of the top 100 songs of the decade, Right Here Waiting. Yes, Owner of Lonely Heart was a top
a
100
big song.
Casey and the Sunshine Band is nowhere on the list. Quarter Flash had a song called Harden My Heart, which was top 100. Starship has 2 songs in the
Good.
top 150. I hate them, but nonetheless, they did. Huey Lewis had 2 songs in the top 100. He didn't make the list. Rick Astley had 2 songs that were in the top, I think in the top 200.
Yeah, I would at least thought that Rickrolled song.
Right.
Yeah.
Down there.
Every Time You Go Away by Paul Young was in the top 75 or so. It didn't make the list. Rick Springfield.
What a sappy song that is,
I
by the way.
know. Jesse's Girl, which is a sappy song too, but it was a giant hit in the
I know.
80s. John Mellencamp is nowhere to be found
Wow.
on the list. John Mellencamp, that was his decade.
Look at me. I'm looking for the trash can.
Okay, I'm not a big UB40 fan, but Red Wine was a giant hit, and it was in one of those Billboard lists I looked at. Survivor, Eye of the Tiger is one of the top 10 songs of the decade. It's also a huge streaming song. It is not in the top 200. Nor is any Steve Miller song. Abracadabra was a particularly big song in the 80s. Wait, who did I write?
Plus, it was used in that movie.
Did I write? Oh, Jay Giles is also not in the top 200. Jay Giles had 2 songs that were big hits. Centerfold
Yeah.
and something else. Olivia Newton-John.
Freeze frame.
Yeah. And Centerfold. Magic by Olivia Newton-John was a giant hit. Pink Floyd had the number 2 song of the year in, was it 81, Brick in the Wall, Another Brick in the Wall?
That's
Pink
not
Floyd
even
is
on the
nowhere on the list. George Harrison had Got My Mind Set on You, which was on Billboard, I think the number 87 of the decade. It didn't make the top 200. John Lennon's Starting Over was number 12 of the decade. It did not make the list. He didn't make the list. Tom Petty is nowhere on the list.
What about Aerosmith?
No, they're not in the list.
I know they had a huge gap in the 80s, but still.
The 80s was not their big decade, but they did. Dude Looks Like a Lady and
Yeah.
Hangman's Jury, and that comeback album was in the 80s.
I went back to the top.
Permanent Vacation.
I
right?
wanted to see if there was a caveat here, like if they said, hey, listen, we're only going to include these songs. But no, it's the greatest hits of music's wildest decade.
Kenny Rogers' Lady, which is such a beautiful song. And, I love it. I listen to it all the time. It was a
When you
giant
make
hit.
love. God.
Kenny Rogers' Lady did not make the list. Journey is not in the list. Isn't Don't Stop Believing kind of a big song?
A little bit.
Kind of.
What about Steve Perry solo?
Negative.
What about, you mentioned the police. What about Tom Petty?
No, I just mentioned him.
Oh, you
He's
didn't
not on
mention
the
Tom, I'm
list.
sorry.
He's not on the list. Nor is Los Lobos La Bamba, which was one of the biggest hits of the 80s.
Wait, what about-
Eurythmics are not on the list. Brian Adams is not on the list. Steve Winwood is not on the list. Anybody knows anything about all these people I'm mentioning?
Oh, they're all white.
They're all
You wouldn't say
white,
that
and they
to
all
Tom
had
Petty, would you?
huge hits.
What about Europe, the final countdown?
Not on the list. Phil Collins is not on the list. Phil Collins, that was his decade. Kenny Loggins. Chicago had huge hits. Foreigner had 2 very, very, very big hits. Not on the list. Dire Straits, nowhere to be found.
That's insane.
REO Speedwagon, not on the list. Not that I love REO Speedwagon, but
Hey, what about
can't fight
Priest?
this feeling anymore.
Is Priest on the
Nope,
list?
nope. Nor was Hart, Mr. Christopher Cross,
Mr.
Men at Work, Barbara Streisand, Captain Tennille. Captain Tennille had Do That To Me One More Time. That was one of the top 50 or so. They are nowhere to be found. And then the biggest insult of all, throw all these white people out that didn't make the list. USA for Africa didn't make it. How could you leave out We Are the World? Honestly.
Hey, did you mention Billy Idol?
Yeah, he's on their white wedding.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Did you mention Cheap Trick?
They're not on the list.
Iron Maiden?
Negative. I mean,
Interesting.
Tell me that there isn't something going on here.
That's ridiculous.
And I'm not really that upset about it. I mean, I sound like I am, but I'm really not because I'm used to reading Rolling Stone's stupid list. But they're the magazine of record. This is where people read things and expect them to be something close to the truth.
You didn't mention Ozzy, right?
Ozzy's not on the list.
Crazy. Yeah.
I'm gonna ruin this magazine when I get
No,
home.
I was trying to think. What did Ozzy have in the 80s
Crazy
that was
Train.
big?
Oh God.
Oh, Crazy Train that's
think
early
so,
80s,
right?
isn't it?
Oh boy, I hope I'm right.
Crazy Train, Bark at the Moon, Shot in the Dark.
No more tears.
Mr.
No More Tears is 90s.
It is.
But that was a big song.
Barely.
I swear I thought that was new when I started at Riff. I'm pretty sure.
Crazy Train. Those are all 1980.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shot in the
There's no way Crazy Train cannot be on this list. It's just insane. I mean, I feel like they could have just thrown a dart at the top 5,000 songs and put what they hit, and they would have done just as well.
Oh God, that's embarrassing.
I mean, Prince Kiss #1. That's not even the right Prince song to be #1.
Kiss.
It's got to be When Doves Cry or Purple Rain, right?
Prince?
I would think so.
Let me look at the streaming. Maybe I'm fucking crazy. I'm just talking off the top of my head, and I think I know better. Okay, Prince.
Why does that song start?
Kiss has 377 million. Purple Rain has 432. I mean, a lot of these songs on here are songs that I like that weren't hits, but that doesn't mean they belong on the list. Like Lou Reed, New Sensations. That's really strange to me.
You're out of here, trash.
I'm going to say that's not even a top 5 streaming song for Lou Reed. But let's just take a look.
I don't even know that song. What's it called?
I was surprised by Kiss. Lou Reed, New Sensations. It was the name of an album that came out in '84, I believe. Okay, it's not a top 5. Walk on the Wild Side, Perfect Day, Satellite of Love, Vicious, great song. Charlie's Girl at 5. Anyway, this is the worst list we've ever
That is
had.
by
isn't it?
far their worst list. Not even
agree.
close.
What do you suppose is going on at Rolling Stone? Because honestly, for
A lot of
nobody,
young writers.
but wouldn't you think someone would actually look at the history or the streaming and go, hey, you got some big mistakes. We got to put some red ink on this list. Wouldn't you think somebody would say that? Or at least demand, could you just use the right song for the artist?
Yeah, well, or at least put an artist in more than once.